Ryan Blaney started this race on pole. Within 108 laps, he built a real lead over the whole field. Fans thought they knew how this race would end. Then the sky turned dark. NASCAR officials picked up something dangerous near the track. What happened next sent cars off the track and fans out of the stands, and it changed everything about this race at EchoPark Speedway. The day began strong for Blaney. He earned pole position before the green flag even dropped. That means he started in first place, ahead of every other car on the grid. A pole start gives a driver a real edge. He gets clean air out front. No cars are kicking up dirty wind in front of him, slowing him down. Blaney used that edge well. Lap after lap, he held the point. His car looked fast and smooth through every corner. While other drivers fought traffic behind him, Blaney just kept pulling away, building the kind of lead that makes a crowd go quiet and watch. That kind of day does not happen often in NASCAR. Starting on pole is one thing. Holding the lead lap after lap without a caution flag shaking things up or a pit call going wrong is a different thing entirely. Every lap, Blaney stayed out front. His advantage grew a little more solid. Crew chiefs behind him kept adjusting, hunting for any small gain that might close the gap. None of it worked. By the time the race hit the triple-digit lap count, Blaney was not just leading. He was controlling the entire pace of the field from the front. By lap 108, the picture was clear. Blaney was still out front, running his own race up there. Bubba Wallace sat right behind him in second place. Reddick held third. Christopher Bell ran fourth. Chase Elliott rounded out the top five. 5 strong drivers, all chasing the same win, all watching Blaney's back bumper and looking for a way past. But none of them were thinking about the weather. Not yet. Behind Blaney, the fight for second was getting tighter by the lap. Wallace was pushing hard, trying every line he could find to close the gap. Reddick stayed glued to his bumper, waiting for one small mistake. Bell and Elliott ran their own battle just behind that pair, both of them patient, both of them ready to pounce if the leaders got into each other. Every driver in that top 5 had a plan for the closing laps. Not one of those plans involved the sky. That is when everything changed. NASCAR tracks storms closely during every single race. Officials watch radar the whole time cars are on track, looking for anything moving in. On this day, their equipment picked up lightning within 8 miles of the speedway. 8 miles might sound far away if you are just driving to work. In racing, it is not far at all. NASCAR has a strict weather rule. If lightning strikes inside that 8-mile ring, the race stops. No exceptions, no matter who is leading or how close the finish looks. That 8-mile number is not random. Lightning can travel far outside the part of a storm that looks dark and threatening. A bolt can strike from clear sky, well ahead of the rain, and still hit the ground with no warning. Cars, metal grandstands, and open pit road are exactly the kind of places lightning is drawn to. That is why NASCAR does not wait for the first drop of rain to act. The second their equipment detects a strike inside that ring, the response starts immediately. Driver safety comes first, every single time, even when a race is this good. This is the moment fans will remember, the moment Ryan Blaney's dominant run got stopped cold. Not by another driver making a bold pass, not by a wreck or a blown engine, by the sky itself. Race control made the call fast. Cars were ordered off the track right away. Blaney had to give up his lead in the middle of the race, with no idea when he would get it back. Wallace, Reddick, Bell, and Elliott followed him down pit road and behind the wall. Crews scrambled to get their cars covered and secured. Nobody wanted equipment sitting out in the open once the storm rolled in. In seconds, a race that looked like a Blaney runaway turned into a waiting game for everyone in the building. Then came the second order, and this one was for the fans. NASCAR told everyone in the grandstands to leave their seats and head for shelter. That is not something officials do lightly. Clearing thousands of people takes real coordination. Security teams pointed fans toward covered areas and the parking lots. Announcers repeated the warning over the speakers again and again. Get out! Get safe! Get away from open metal bleachers before the lightning got any closer. Some fans headed for the concourse. Others ran for their cars. Thousands of people who came to watch Blaney chase a win were suddenly walking away from the track instead, looking up at the sky. Now the hardest part began. The wait. Nobody in that building knew how long the delay would last. Drivers sat in their haulers, still strapped into their fire suits, checking their phones for weather updates. Crew chiefs stared at radar screens, watching storm cells crawl across the map. Fans huddled wherever they could find cover, some of them soaked, all of them checking the sky every few minutes. Rain came, just like officials expected. Lightning cracked somewhere beyond the grandstands. Track workers stayed under cover, watching the same radar everyone else was watching, waiting for a clear window that never seemed to last long enough. Every minute felt longer than the one before it, and nobody could say for sure when green flag racing would start again. And through all of it, one question kept coming up in every conversation around the track. Would Ryan Blaney's early lead survive this wait? A long red flag can undo 100 laps of hard work in a hurry. Cars sit parked with cold engines. Tires lose heat and grip the longer they sit still on pit road. Track conditions shift once rain hits the surface and dries again. All of that can change a race just as fast as a crash would. Long red flags are especially dangerous for whoever is leading. Blaney had built his cushion lap by lap, corner by corner, over more than 100 laps of clean racing. A 3-hour break does not care about any of that. When the tires go back on cold and the track surface changes under the sun, a driver who dominated the first half of a race can come back out and get swallowed up in the first 5 laps. Blaney's crew knew this. So did Wallace's team, sitting right behind him in second, more than ready to pounce the moment the green flag waved again. Reddick, Bell, and Elliott were thinking the exact same thing. Every crew chief in that top 5 spent the delay running the same math in their head. New tires or old tires at the restart, how much fuel to add, how the track surface would grip once the sun came back out and dried the racing line. None of those calls are simple, and a wrong guess can drop a driver several spots in a single lap. For Blaney, the stakes were higher than for anyone else. He was not trying to gain spots. He was trying to keep every one of the 108 laps he had already earned. The wait stretched past 1 hour, then 2. Radar kept lighting up with more strikes near the speedway, resetting the clock on that 8-mile rule every time. NASCAR would not risk sending cars back out until the storm cleared the area completely. Fans kept checking their phones. Crews kept their cars ready under cover, just in case the call came quickly. Finally, after more than 3 hours off the track, officials gave the signal everyone had been waiting for. Cars rolled back out onto pit road. Engines fired up again one by one, echoing through a mostly empty grandstand as fans hurried back to their seats. The race that lightning stopped was about to restart. But here is the real question hanging over everything. After sitting for more than 3 hours, would Ryan Blaney still have what it took to hold off Wallace, Reddick, Bell, and Elliott once the green flag dropped? Cold tires, a changed racetrack, a restart with nothing decided and everything on the line. Nobody knew the answer. Not the drivers strapping back in, not the crews double-checking their cars one last time, not the fans who came back to their seats, soaked and staring at the sky one more time before the green flag finally waved again. That is the story of what Ryan Blaney just did to shock everyone at EchoPark Speedway. He built a lead nobody else in the field could touch, then watched the sky itself try to take it away from him. He earned the pole, controlled every lap up to 108, and still had to sit and wait like everyone else once the lightning showed up. No other driver in that race had more to lose once the green flag waved again. Wallace, Reddick, Bell, and Elliott only had to gain ground. Blaney had to defend all of it, on cold tires, on a changed track, after 3 hours of doing nothing but waiting. Whether that lead held up or disappeared the moment the race restarted comes down to what every driver in that top 5 had left after sitting through the longest delay of the day. Pinned comment suggestion: do you think Ryan Blaney held his lead after the 3-hour lightning delay, or did the restart change everything? Drop your prediction below.